Hello, it's good to see you. Today we're going to be looking at leaves. So you're probably wondering, why are we looking at that old French book? Well, this is my French book from high school, and I graduated over 30 years ago, but this is the book that we used. I took 3 years of French when I was in high school, and this book sits on my bookshelf in my living room because I really enjoyed that class and I held on to the book. They were actually going to discard the books after my senior year, so our teacher said that we could have them if we wanted them. So I took one. Anyway, I was outside the other day and I noticed the most beautiful leaves in my yard. They're from my neighbor's tree. They're not from any trees in my yard, but they had kind of blown over into my yard as leaves sometimes do. And I stuck them in this book because I wanted to kind of press them a little bit. So I put them in this book to kind of flatten them out a little bit because, as they dry, they tend to kind of curl up like that a little bit. And so I'm going to take them out of here. I don't remember how many I brought in, but I stuck them all in here. And they're all the same kind of leaves. They're from a maple tree. So they're all going to be the same type, I believe. I don't think there were any other leaves out there. But they had some really pretty color, and I really just wanted to share them with you. And that's why I collected them and put them in this book, so I could get together with you tonight and we could look at them together. So let me get them out of here and then we'll take a look at them. Okay, I've collected them all from the book. It looks like most of them are maple leaves, but a couple of them are they're from different trees. But we'll take a look at those. Now I will say that most of the trees around here have not started to change. Like, you get the pretty colors in fall. Most of them have not. But this tree, I am almost afraid that it may be sick or diseased or something's wrong with it, because I've noticed that a lot of the leaves on it, like going all the way up this tree, a lot of them are just turning brown and falling off, and it's just very unusual. I've never seen it do that before. The leaves that are on there are changing colors very rapidly. I don't know if there's something wrong with the tree or what, but none of the other trees like it around here are doing that. They're all still very green. So I kind of wonder if it's maybe got something wrong with it. But we can enjoy these leaves together. This one, unfortunately, looks like it got pressed a little bit. Like you can see the underside here. It just kind of comes up like that. This one is beautiful. It has different shades of red in it. And then up here we have just kind of like this rust color. Really nice. And you can see the back here is a lighter color. It's kind of a beige color. And we have this nice long stem here. It's a beautiful rusty red color, just like the leaves. Looks like it's giving us the finger. Yeah, I love the shape of these leaves. They're just beautiful. Very elegant, the way they just kind of point up like a middle finger. Yeah. Yeah, it gives me the finger every fall because it never fails. Every year we'll have a big windy, gusty period when all the leaves are coming off the trees, and they all blow over into my yard. And I have to rake them up over and over again. That tree gives me the finger every year. Now maybe somebody can tell us what kind of leaf this is. I know somebody is running to the comment section. This is their moment to shine. What is this? I am not exactly sure what this is, but I found this leaf in my yard. And I don't know where it came from because we don't have any trees in the immediate vicinity that make leaves like this. so it must have just been carried on the wind from somewhere in the neighborhood that I'm not familiar with. You can see it has these pretty little points on there. It just kind of comes out like that. It makes me think of a stag beetle, the way these two do right there. Like their little pincers, you know. I used to love to play with stag beetles and wood beetles when I was a kid. I would take a stick and get them to bite it and hold them up with the stick. And so, I don't know, I liked playing with bugs and frogs and spiders and snakes and lizards. I was always playing outside with some sort of creature. Usually it didn't want to play with me, but I made it do it anyway. Isn't this pretty? Look at the back of it. You can see the little veins going through the leaf. This is the underside of the leaf. It's very nice. It's basically kind of a uniform sort of golden color. It's a little darker here, but as you come out this way, it's a little lighter. Very thin. The book did a good job of pressing these leaves. It really did. They didn't curl up at all. So that was good. This one, I really like this one because it maintains a lot of that green, but you're starting to see little hints of red here on over towards the ends, and it looks like a bug or something ate away part of this leaf. It's been nibbled on a little bit. I don't think it grew that way. I think something's been chewing on it a little bit. But yeah, we had, oh, and you can see the red too in the little veins going through the leaf here. And it's just kind of starting to spread a little. But yeah, I think something is definitely wrong with this tree because I collected these leaves about a week ago. And now if you were to see it, I would say at least half of the leaves on this tree are brown and falling off. They're just curling up and they're brown and they're just falling off the tree. And the rest of them are turning red, like this, kind of a shade of red like this. It started with just some of them turning a little bit and falling off. And then of course blowing into my yard because that's what they always do. And I have to rake them up and, get them off my grass. Because it'll, messes up my grass. And if you know me, I'm very proud of my lawn and I don't want it messed up. So I'm always out there raking them up. Oh, now look at this one. This may actually be a different leaf, a different type of leaf. I'm not sure, maybe not. What do you think? All right, tree people. Do we have any arborists among us? An arborist would be able to tell us, perhaps. So we have this leaf here, and you can see it has some brown on the ends here. A little bit of that dark green left down at the base, but it's definitely drying out. It's becoming very yellow with spots all over the place. They all have a nice stem. This one feels much drier than the others. Feels like it would become brittle very soon. I still think they're pretty to look at. I love to look at the pretty colors on these leaves. And look at this one. Just a little bit of that green right there and here. But the rest of it is sort of a beige with brown. Oh, this one's nice. This is beautiful because this one, we have a little bit of green here and along the veins a little bit, but then you start to see this red and even touches of brown and beige, and on the back it's kind of the same story. You can sort of see that there's more green in these sections, but then the rest of it is definitely starting to change. Yeah, we really have not hit that time of year here yet. Of course, in different parts of the country, depending on where you are, your leaves are going to change at different times. And I think it depends on the rainfall as to how vivid and bright the leaves are going to be. And I'm not sure how it's going to go this summer. We haven't had a really good year for fall foliage in a while. I don't know, but I do think it has to do with the amount of rainfall that you get over the summer. as to whether or not the colors are good. But this one, it has a little bit of yellow, a very pale yellow, and green, and the red, and kind of a brown. Now look at this one. I think this is from a poplar tree, but I could be wrong. And again, poplars I don't have any poplars near me, so I think this little fellow was carried in on the wind, which we are having a lot of wind and rain tonight. Some kind of storm blowing through, and it's been very rainy and windy all day today. But we had a little bit of wind come through, and I think it brought me this leaf. It's got an interesting shape to it. It's kind of like a cat's head, like you have little ears and the little, like if he had a full face, you know, could look a little bit like that. Beautiful coloring. We have sort of an orange and then yellow, tiny hints of green left in it, not much, some dark spots. And the back is kind of the same, but it really accentuates those dark spots. And we have these little veins that go up here. Leaf tapping. I don't think I could tap on it very much. I'd start poking holes in it. I love the way they feel kind of leathery. It's very interesting. Beautiful colors though, just beautiful. Look at all these pretty things. I love it. We have another one here that features red and green, but it's mostly red. These two sections this overlaps it a little bit. And it looks like we have more green here and then more red here with a little bit of green up there at the top. And the back is very light. We have a short little stem on this one. I just think they're so beautiful because each one of them is so different. They're like snowflakes. You're just not ever going to find two that are the same. And the colors are just stunning. They were even prettier when I first picked them up. They were a little bit more vibrant. And then we have some here that have a lot of red in them. This bit here got folded down a little bit. Just a tiny little bit of green right here at the top. Just a little. Most of the rest of it is red, as you can see. And it has this dark bit up here. Oh, there's a little something back there, but it came off a little bit of something. But very beautiful. I do love this color. It's kind of interesting though, because from my experience with this particular tree, most of the leaves on this tree turn yellow, but a lot of these that have fallen off are red, which is unusual for this tree. I mean, I'm thinking to years past, typically when the leaves came, when the leaves changed, they would be yellow, but most of them are kind of red right now. This one's neat. I hate that it got folded. I tried to get them straight, but it looks like I didn't quite succeed with this one. This one's interesting because it has an outline of brown here, and it has red in there, but sort of just an outline of this brownish, not a dark brown, just kind of a medium brown. And then we have green right in the middle going straight up. Just a little bit of green left in there. Little spots of yellow here and there. Oh, the back is much lighter. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that is nice. It's starting to look like the forest floor. Look at all these leaves. And then we have this tiny little leaf. This is pretty. This is kind of similar to this one. It's just smaller. But this one has this little bit of green right there. Just there. And then we have a lot of red. A little bit of green there and there. Not much. Just a little bitty bit. little small one. Here's one. This one's neat. I like this one. It just has little freckles of green on it, going this way and that way, and a little bit. Looks like something nibbled on it, like a little bit right there. It looks like originally maybe it came out a little bit more, and it has some dark spots on it. The back of all these leaves is very light. You can see it's much lighter than the front. And the front has this nice kind of slick, leathery feel to it. It still has a little bit of moisture left in it, which gives it some flexibility. But as it dries, it will become more brittle. These fell off the tree about a week ago. They're still a little, you can bend them a little bit without them breaking. But yeah, it won't be long and they will become very brittle and you will not want to bend them. Oh, look at this one. This one's crazy. It has a lot going on. Move my collection over. Now this one is very colorful. Look, it has this dark bit here, and we have some green, some little specks of green here, and some up on the very tip end of this leaf right there. Oh, and a little bit right there, just a tiny bit, not a lot. And the top here is still, I don't know if that's green or beige, it's kind of hard to say. It looks diseased. Actually, the back is kind of shiny, like maybe a slug crawled across it or something. You know how it leaves that shiny trail, kind of. I don't know, maybe something crawled across it, a snail or a slug or something. That's possible. Pretty dark colors, but I like how the very tip ends are lighter. That's really neat. At least one person will say in the comment that these are pot leaves, and all I have to say is bless your heart. Just bless your little heart. Stay in school. So we have green on this one. This one's big. I like the shape of this one. And it has red. And if I'm calling these leaves by the wrong name, we've always called these maple. These are maple leaves from a maple tree, but we don't get syrup out of the trees or anything, but these trees grow everywhere down here. And it has dark up here. We have green, quite a bit of green here, and then the little veins, you can see some green and red throughout, but it's getting very dark right up there at the top. Look at the back. This leaf has some shiny stuff on it too. That's weird. I don't think that's from a slug. I'm not really sure what this is. But it definitely has a little shine to it. That's weird. It may have something to do with what is going on with this tree, because I really don't know. But I think something's wrong with that tree. I don't know what, but it's not looking good. I mean, I've been living here for 7 years and I've never known that tree to look the way it does, and it changed so quickly over the matter of just a few days. It was really weird for it to go from looking totally fine to losing leaves that turn red and fell off, and now about half of the remaining leaves are just brown. They're just brown and shriveled up and falling off. I've never seen it do that, and for it to happen so fast, just over a few days, it's very weird. But that's what's going on with it. Just between you and me, I wouldn't be too upset if it died, because I'm tired of raking up these dang leaves. I'm not rooting for it to die, but I'm trying to look at the bright side. If it dies, I won't have to rake up those freaking leaves anymore. And that'll be alright too. I like this one. This is one of the first ones I picked up. It's a little smaller, and you can see that it has green, lots of green, but it also has this brown. It doesn't really have much red. It has a little bit, but more brown, I would say, than red. It almost looks three-dimensional. Something about the coloring of this one. Yeah, this was one of the first ones I picked up. And I had picked up a few and I had them in my hand, and I started thinking, I want to share this with my friends. I want them to see this because these are so neat. Because normally we don't have leaves like this for us to look at yet. It's going to take a little bit. Usually by about, what would it be? Mid to late October, you start seeing more leaves changing. Yeah, not this time of year though. And none of the other trees are doing this, just the one that I think is sick or something wrong with it. Look at this pretty one. Oh, this one it's like a painting almost. It's like a watercolor. You have this pretty green still, but then you have this red that's coming up the veins like that. Oh, it does. To me, it looks like a painting. And then the back is really pretty. It's pretty uniform. The veins are very red. And the leaf itself has this pale green color on the back that I really like. But this is a pretty one. I love this one. I like both of these. Well, I like them a lot. Just something about the combination of the colors in the leaves. It's just pretty. I think that's really pretty. I love the little bit of green there. It comes up and down like that. I think that's beautiful. Now look at this one. This one's interesting. So here's another one about the same size. But this one has more of a brick red color, but then it has a little stripe here that has nothing to do with the veins. It's just like a little slightly golden looking stripe. And the leaf has a hole in it right there. We do have a little bit of green left up here, just a little mixed in with some red, and a very little bit here, and a very little bit there. Oh, and right there. Most of it, though, is this beautiful rusty red color. I love that, except for this little stripe right there. I don't know what that's about, but it doesn't follow the grain or anything. It's just kind of, it just goes right there. I don't know why. I don't know what would cause that. I do like it, though. Oh, look at this one. Oh, this is another one of the ones I picked up first. This is so pretty. It's so pretty. Look at these colors. We have lots of green, but then the red. It's just starting. It's like a little flower. It just kind of blooms from the base of this leaf and just kind of comes out like that. It's gorgeous. Then you look along the edges and we have a little bit of yellowing along there and here, up there. But this is just so pretty, and the green has become a very light shade of green. We have a little bit slightly darker green there and here, but it's for the most part a very light shade of green. I like that. Beautiful. Then we have this one. This one is pretty uniform. This is a big leaf. It's pretty much all a solid shade of this beautiful dark red. Got folded right there. I'm afraid to try to unfold it. I might break it off. They're not so brittle yet that you can't unfold them. I was able to gently convince this one to unfold. But we can see there's just a tiny bit of green left here, here, right there, at the very tip of the leaf up there. It's a big, pretty leaf. Look at that long stem. It still has some, oh, I spoke too soon. I was going to say it had some flexibility left, but I was wrong. It had to prove me wrong. That's what I get for messing with it. The back shows more spots back here and a little bit more of the green. Definitely lighter than the front, but that's true for all of them. Yeah, the underside is always going to be a lighter color. This one is just so pretty. I think this one is my favorite. This one right here. That beautiful. Look at that. I love stuff like this. And here's my last leaf that I picked up to show you. You know, there's a lot of beauty out there in the world. There's a lot to look at and appreciate if you just take the time to do it. Just take a little time to look around and Smell the proverbial roses, which my rose bushes are blooming again right now too. I'm going to get out and enjoy that if it ever stops raining, but it looks like it's going to rain all week, so I don't know. I may miss out on it. They've already bloomed 4 times this year. This is the 4th time they've bloomed. They're double knockout yellow roses. They've been very happy this year. I don't know, they're just very happy. But we have this leaf right here that has a lot of green in it, but it also has yellow and red. We have little speckles and smatterings of colors, and again it looks like somebody got a little hungry and munched on this leaf a little bit right here. I can just see like it's been messed up right there. But the colors are stunning. We do still have a lot of green left, but the yellow and the red are creeping in, slowly starting to take over this leaf. The underside, the back side is very light, but that is beautiful. I like the way both of these look. They're still green, but you notice the shade of green has changed. The leaves on the tree that have not turned brown are a darker shade of green than that. They're actually closer to this one. This one's not as dark, but it's closer. But yeah, I think that one is my favorite. We have so many leaves. So many. Look at all of these. It's fun to take a little time and go outside and enjoy nature a little bit. I highly recommend it, especially if you've been really stressed out. You know, there's the meme that you need to go touch grass, but it's very true. I find it nice to take my shoes off and walk around on the dirt. I think it's called grounding. Walk around. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I didn't know it had a name, but take your shoes off and walk around barefooted on the earth. I like to walk around in the grass and just see what I can see out there. Maybe a grasshopper or a little inchworm or pretty leaves like these. You just never know. It's always an adventure every time you go out. You could find all kinds of neat, pretty, interesting things out there. Just never know. You know, I put out a bunch of raw peanuts for my squirrels and for the tufted titmice, the birds. They love peanuts. And they've been burying the peanuts all around my property, and I have started finding little peanut plants popping up in my grass. I have become a peanut farmer. I have several peanut plants growing in my mulch areas, and they've gotten really big. It's amazing. It's about time to harvest my peanuts, and I did that last year, and I pulled them up and dried them and let the squirrels and the tufted titmice have the peanuts. They were very happy to take them. So I've grown peanuts. This is my 2nd year of growing peanuts, sort of accidentally. Some of the plants that popped up, I just left them and let them grow. And then I pulled them up and gave them to the squirrels and the birds. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed getting to see these beautiful leaves today. I was so excited to share them with you because they're just so pretty. I love them. All the pretty colors, and they're all different. It doesn't even matter how many you look at, you will always find a bunch of different ones every time you go out. So take some time and go out and enjoy nature a little bit, even if the leaves aren't changing yet. They will be soon before you know it. Go and take a look, and you can bring them home, and you can press them between the pages of a book, and they'll flatten out like this and keep their color. Yeah, you should definitely try it. You don't have to buy a special press or anything. You can just use a book, any old book. I might get one that you don't care too much about because some leaves might stain the pages, but these did not. They didn't stain them at all. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again really soon.